Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sesh. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, hotties of the world, and welcome back to another beautiful, wonderful, hot, and sexy episode of Smoke Sesh. My name is Hannah, your host, and happy Mercury Retrograde. You're all like, no, please, Hannah, no. I know, I hear you. I'm definitely feeling the energy and attempting to do my best here today. A little going on in my life. Everything is changing. We're kind of in a season of endings. I feel like August and, the kind of end of summer, beginning of school year, Leo energy is all about renewal, really burning up, especially during Leo season, things that are not serving us, lives that we do not want to live anymore, and moving forward accordingly, which can be great, but also in the middle of all that chaos, it can be a little overwhelming. I just posted a little Mercury retrograde write up on the Patreon if you guys are interested in seeing a little more detailed evaluation. I try and keep up with the cosmos and keep my Patreon girlies updated there. So if you want to check that out, please do so. But my schedule is a little cuckoo bananas right now. Not gonna lie, I did call out of work this morning. Oopsies, sometimes a girl's got to do what it's got to do. You know what I mean? I work in the restaurant industry. People call out every other day. I don't know why I had anxiety about it. Like, girl, just fucking send it, especially if you got shit that you need to do. Like, take the time off, save your mental health a little bit. So it's exactly what I did. My schedule this week was a little cuckoo bananas. I usually sit down to record the podcast on Monday, edit them, and then have them ready to go bright and early on Tuesday for you all. That's usually my routine. It works well. I love it. Monday, Tuesdays are my days off. I get to hang out with you guys. But this week, I totally and utterly forgot that I was supposed to be going out of town to visit my brother and my sister-in-law, my niece and my nephew with my mom and my dad. So last minute, my schedule had to flip and change and reverse and switch it up a little bit. So here I am, Sunday morning on this beautiful Leo new moon day, as well as the start of Mercury retrograde, finally sitting down to record with you guys. I worked the past 4 days. My God, am I exhausted. I actually came home after a brunch shift yesterday, also after a couple of mimosas, and attempted to sit down and record an episode. But I just was like, you know what? We got to redo that. We got to feed the girls some good quality content, not the drunk in the bathroom giving you advice at a club kind of content that I was giving yesterday. Although it was fun, drunk Hannah just happens to just talk like this, and that ain't gonna work for a audio podcast. Come on now, girl. Let's think a little harder, a little more critically about that one. But anyways, I am excited to hang out with you guys on this Leo new moon, kind of just set our intentions together to look forward, to try and see the brightness in the darkness sometimes, especially with the chaos and the darkness that retrograde can bring. Trying to keep positive and look towards the light is the best way to survive the trials and tribulations that the universe might be throwing our way, especially for this next month, I believe, is how long this retrograde is going to last. So yeah, lots of endings, lots of new beginnings. I feel like we all as individuals are ready to kind of shed this skin that we have been restricted in for such a long time, and we're ready to step into a new sexy sleek version of ourselves. So hopefully we can all hang out together and channel that energy, but I'm very excited to do so. My parents are picking me up at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow, to head to Omaha. So I have a day of prepping and planning and just making sure my life is in order. And I feel like really being dedicated to my day, especially on a new moon day and the start of retrograde, and being intentional about my time is the best way to kind of manifest. I feel like mirroring is the best manifestation tool, especially when Mercury retrograde likes to take our words and flip them and twist them a little bit. Through action, there is always direct communication. You can't get it twisted when you are being direct with what you're doing with your body and your actions and your motivations. Okay, so today I am really just setting positive intentions, attempting to get the most done that I can, and really just be positive through it all. So slept in a little bit this morning. Got my pussy ate, had some bomb sex. Hell yeah, let's go. Come on, girls, round of applause there. Had me a little coffee, cleaned up a little bit, started some laundry. It is hot out, okay? Tempers are high. People are going through it. We are all sweating our asses off. Thus the bikini, because even though it's 10:30 a.m. and I am recording this, it is like 85 degrees in my apartment. We're just doing our best. You know what I mean? Might as well put on a hot, sexy bikini. Sydney Mary bikini always, okay? I'm going to record, hang out with you guys, have me a little smoothie. I'm going to place a pickup order at the dispo, get me a little cart, maybe some new wax for my boyfriend. Why not? Might as well treat him. He is such a angel, sweet baby. If your man is not genuinely attempting and trying, and most likely succeeding if you do attempt and try, to make your life better, then what the fuck is he even doing there? What the fuck is he even doing there? What are you doing with a man who is not trying to make your life better and easier and just more enjoyable as a woman? Okay, you can tell when a woman is loved because she looks like a well-watered flower. She is glowing, she is shining. Maybe she has no makeup on, she looks a mess, but you can tell that glow is coming from the inside out because she is well loved, okay? You can tell when a woman is well loved, and you can tell when a woman is not, and she is dried up and drowning and waiting for a sip of water from her man. Please, for the love of God, be a well-watered flower. Be a well-watered plant. Find a man who takes care of you. Because I was leaving to go to my brunch shift yesterday, and I was like looking around in my kitchen, and it was just a mess, and I got so much anxiety. And we have this cute little whiteboard on my fridge that we leave notes for each other on, and I was like, I'm so sorry, love you, I'll clean up the kitchen when I get home. You know what? I got home, not only was the kitchen completely spotless, but so was the rest of the house. He said, babe, don't even worry about it, not even gonna bring it up. I can tell she's stressed. Let me deep clean the entire house for her. Wow. Well-watered individual right here. Shout out to him. I could cry. That made my life just so much easier, especially because I've just been so fucking busy, especially during this retrograde time where my life is a little bit more chaotic than usual, and I am attempting to keep up the best I can. Having somebody in your life that genuinely wants to make it better and easier for you so you have an easier time is such a godsend. And honestly, if the people in your life are not doing that for you, let's think about it. Let's think about that one. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to place a pickup order at the dispo. I'm going to make a little guacamole recipe for us. I'll be posting that on Tuesday, hopefully, if I have it done and ready to upload. I know the girlies have been begging for the guac recipe. I've been craving it desperately, so I'll be doing that. I'm going to be mopping my kitchen. So excited. My mop just came in this morning. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my brain as an adult, but I got so excited to buy a mop. I also bought a dehumidifier. Literally, I don't know why. It's really about the little things. This Mercury retrograde is really taking my viewpoint out of this dissociative, like, bird's eye perspective and really bringing me down to the present. And I'm really honing in and taking in all the little things in my life and trying to adjust and change them so then I can be a better, more well-rounded individual and my life can be a life of luxury. And I feel like that doesn't come through the big things. It really does come through the small things. So very excited to mop my kitchen and then hopefully just gonna smoke and chill and hang out. You know what I mean? It's a very heavy day today. Not necessarily in the ways of like sadness or depression or anything like that. I think it's just the overwhelming sense of I deserve everything that I want in this world, but also I am the creator of my universe and it is all up to me. And that does feel a little heavy, but also I have hope in that heaviness. So exciting things are coming. You know what? I will just read you this retrograde write-up I did on the Patreon. So if any of the girlies are ever thinking about it, you know, maybe joining, hanging out with us, I highly recommend. I don't get paid for this podcast. Obviously. Like, babe, I'd be smoking and talking about getting my pussy ate. Obviously, sponsors are not lining up at the door knocking. Okay. So the only way I really do get paid through this, is through Patreon. I love my Patreon girlies. I love the community we've created there. I post 4 to 5 times a week, which honestly, I subscribe to a lot of Patreons and usually they're uploading once a week. So best believe if you do subscribe, you will be well fed. I promise. The girlies are eating it up every day. I do a Monday manifestation. I do Sunday journal prompts. I do a new Patreon episode every Thursday where I answer every single one of your questions. Okay. And also, I like to do astrology updates, rituals, especially with the girlies who are like all ready for fall. Bitch, it's August 1st. Why the hell are all of my videos on my timeline baking pumpkin muffins? I'm making everything in my house orange. Girl, it is 105 degrees outside. Summer is in full swing. Winter is long enough. Let me soak up and enjoy this summer as much as I can before I dive into the fall activities. I will get there, I promise. But when the fall kind of starts to turn around, I really do involve myself in a lot more rituals, spirituality, and I do share that with the patrons as well. So shout out to you guys, but let me read you all this Leo New Moon Mercury Retrograde write-up I did just to inform the girlies of the vibes I'm trying to bring and maybe provide some hope along the way. So, Sunday, August 4th, we have a Leo full moon as well as the beginning of Mercury retrograde. August 8th, okay, we also have a Lionsgate portal. It all doesn't have to be so scary, so let's prep and prepare so we can step into the next best phase of our lives. Mercury controls tech errors, travel issues, communication mishaps, poor planning, and disorganization. After all, Mercury is the trickster planet that rules over logic, sarcasm, and messaging. Knowing this beforehand will keep our heads level when things seem to be going quote-unquote wrong. A lot of this wrongness is really just showing us where we need to check in more on our life and take control, or maybe take a step back. It's keeping us in check and making sure by reviewing, redoing, rethinking, or releasing. While this retrograde is in Virgo, house of nourishment, you might find your day-to-day self-care or routines getting switched up or moved around, so just go with the flow. After August 14th, Mercury retrograde will switch gears into Leo, sign of passion and self. This might make us step into our egotistical sides and take everything a little bit more personally. So remember to take those deep breaths and realize sometimes it's not all about you, okay? And you'll save energy by doing so. It could also lead to prideful impulses that cause you to jump to the worst conclusions and make things worse. When in doubt, give yourself time to process the situation before doing anything rash. Retrogrades are all about keeping us in check and the universe testing us if we're really worthy of stepping into our most divine timeline. Let me repeat that. Mercury retrograde does not have to be so scary if you are doing the right things. Okay? Retrogrades are all about keeping us in check and the universe testing us if we're really worthy of stepping into our most divine timeline. Do not revert to old tendencies, bad behaviors, mindsets, old flings, bad spending. Understand and stay strong in what you desire and do not settle for less. Stay on the high road of a peaceful mind. To do this, let's set our intentions on this Leo new moon so the Lionsgate portal August 8th can hyperdrive us into the highest timeline. Leo is ruled by the sun, which oversees self-image, purpose, creativity, and confidence. This is an astrological event that can inspire us to really become our best selves. After all, aren't we deserving of it? Things might not happen as fast as we would like, but you'll never just change overnight. So this is the time to set goals. As the saying goes, good things come to those who wait. Don't rush the process. It'll happen. Give your hopes time to grow. Jupiter is bringing us luck, prosperity, and abundance. Our lives will be enriched as a result. Overall, the vibes are terrific, meaning we're guaranteed a fortunate day if we play our cards right. Stay in your lane to ensure you have a wonderful time. If you can do something nice for others and yourself, go for it. After all, we deserve it. Expand your horizons, fly to new heights. There's a couple rituals that I also like to indulge in during this time, especially during a Mercury retrograde Leo season. You can get fired up. So maybe you are stuck in a place and you are over it. You are ready to move on. You need to burn and release, okay? You're going to take a piece of paper. You are going to write down whatever is holding you back. Maybe it's limiting beliefs in yourself or the world around you. Maybe it's an old fling. Maybe it's spending. Whatever it is, write it down on a piece of paper. Burn that bitch. Burn it up, okay? Get rid of it. Release. Let go. Now, with the ashes, I like to take them and I like to put them into my plants. So out of the ashes, something can grow, something beautiful can grow out of it, okay? Lessons do not always have to be so hard. There's always something good to take from them. There's always nutrients to gain from the hardships that you face. But you do need to release those hardships in order to learn the lesson and to move forward. Physically doing so, I think especially as a ritual and a release, clears up so much cloudiness that I have in my brain and really just helps me focus on what is necessary in my life and hopefully spiritually release the things that are not serving me. Next, I think a great one, especially when everybody seems to be a little too hot during Leo season. And if you are having a hot-headed moment and you need to cool down, a good cooling down ritual is I will lay down like on my yoga mat or just in a safe space, wherever it may be. And then I will place a ice cube over my heart chakra and I will do some deep breathing exercises, specifically focusing on breathing in positivity, breathing in hope, breathing in my dreams, and breathing out the limiting beliefs or the limiting ideals that are keeping me from breathing in those dreams, okay? Breathing in the good, breathing out the bad, okay? Cooling down my heart so I'm not so temperamental, I'm more level-headed. I'm just approaching the world in a new perspective. When we're too fired up, it really clouds our judgment, and taking a intentional time to meditate and slow down and focus on what is actually important is so nice. And it's a good reset as well, especially when during this time there is so much manifestation. You cannot manifestate accordingly if you are not taking the time to really clear your mind and clear your intentions. So it's okay to cool down every once in a while. Another great manifestation tool, especially when it comes to the Lionsgate portal on August 8th, which is a fantastic time for manifestation. Please go for it, send it, all your dreams and desires, is mirroring. So essentially standing in the mirror and repeating affirmations or desires or gratitude to your face, okay? Speaking them to yourself, making sure that you are visually aware that you are deserving and speaking into yourself positive affirmations and goals and just overall hopes and dreams and ideals that you would like to complete, and acknowledge that you are deserving of those. Mirroring is very powerful. I think the way you view yourself and the world around you is very powerful, and setting positive intentions behind that is a great way to celebrate the Lionsgate portal. So Please, please, please do not let the chaos of this time get to you. The universe is really testing us to make sure that we are deserving of what we desire. And if you do not pass those tests, the universe will not bless you. Retrogrades are really only difficult if you make them difficult on yourself. Okay, so if you do not pass the test, if you respond back to that ex that's texting you and go back to that toxic behavior, yeah, babe, you didn't pass the test, you're gonna have a hard time. If you keep reverting back to old tendencies that are not feeding you or feeding your soul or feeding your desired timeline, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time. If you're taking everything too personally or too in the ego during this time as well, things are going to be very difficult for you when they get switched and changed around. So go with the flow, stand strong beside yourself. Take those moments to yourself to express gratitude and trust in yourself that you're on the highest timeline of what you deserve, okay? We'll get through this together. Remember, everything takes time. Change is not going to happen overnight. But in the meantime, you can acknowledge the tests and the trials and the tribulations that the universe is throwing your way and attempt to ace them the best you can. With that being said, that's enough of an intro. I know you guys want to get into your questions. I know you have a lot on your mind. So let's see what the girls are going through. Oh, also, I got my nails done. Shout out to Nails by Meg So, the baddest bitch to ever exist. Nail cam. Very Leo season inspired. Very just out there. I didn't think my nails were going to be that loud, but honestly, I'm kind of loving it. Listen, I'm trying to indulge in as much summer as I can before it ends, okay? We got to pace out the fall shit because winter lasts too long. I need to soak up the heat so then winter isn't so hard on me. Please, please let me have the rest of summer. Someone said being pessimistic in a new relationship / expecting to be heartbroken. You are already just breaking your heart right away because you're trying to control the situation. Here's the thing. Hearts will break, hearts will shatter, not everything will last forever. Some will, okay? You never know, but you cannot control the situation. The only thing you can do is ride it out and ride the wave the best you can and try and give and receive as much love as possible in that moment in time. That's how you avoid heartbreak. Not by breaking your own heart and already assuming shit's gonna go wrong, but by allowing yourself to love and be loved. That is how you minimize heartbreak and understand, you know what? Even if I do get my heart broken, even if he does leave me or he does me dirty or whatever it is, he says I'm undeserving of love, whatever it is, at least I put my fucking whole pussy into that relationship and I really made sure that I was giving as much love as I possibly could. Because as long as you do that, that makes the heartbreak so much easier. You know what? I did as much as I could. I did the best that I could. And if they couldn't see that and they couldn't accept that or they didn't want that, then that's okay. We spent our time together. We had our fun. We have to keep it pushing. But a lot of you guys are breaking your own heart before you even get the option or the chance to actually love. Allow yourself to love. Allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to open yourself up to love, okay? Life's not supposed to be so cold and hard and mean. It already is with so much other outside fucking shit going on and living in a capitalistic society and having to pay money and rent and be an adult and all that bullshit. So you might as well have a good fucking love life and try and give and receive as much love to the people who are important in your life. Okay? Do not ruin the relationship by going into it expecting negative results. You are already setting yourself up for failure. Why would you set yourself up for failure when there's so much success to be obtained out there? You just need to open your heart. You're deserving of it. You are. You're deserving of a good love, of a real love. You are deserving of giving and receiving love. You just need to open yourself up to it. A lot of people think they can avoid heartbreak by not engaging in any sort of love or romantic interest or not opening themselves up completely. But in reality, that's the biggest heartbreak of them all. Because I would rather love and be lost than to have never loved at all. What's that from? Romeo and Juliet? I don't know. I can't remember. But you know what? They ate with that quote. Someone said, sorry if this sounds rude, but what is the reason you smoke a lot of weed? I don't feel like I smoke a lot. Actually, in the grand scheme of things, I probably do. The reason that I indulge in the marijuana cigarette every once in a while is because I think it's a great way for me to rest and relax and also connect to the world around me. I think a lot of people use substances, whether it's drinking, alcohol, weed, nicotine, whatever it may be, as a distraction, as a deterrence from the world around you, to forget about things. Oh, I had a bad day at work, let me go blackout. Oh, I had a bad day at work, let me take a dab and enter another realm and not think about it. Oh, I had a bad day at work, let me do a line. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people do substances as an escape. But I think, especially having taking many times to remove weed from my life and take a tea break and reevaluate my relationship with weed, I use it because it connects me to the world around me. Okay, it opens my heart up a little bit, it opens my eyes up a little bit, especially as a creative. It puts me in this flow state that allows me to really dive into a new depth, both internally and externally. And I appreciate weed for that purpose. But I do think there would be a problem if I was smoking as much as I did to escape the world around me rather than connect to it. I do think that would be an issue. And that's something that I would question a little bit more. But genuinely, the reason that I do smoke and I use or enjoy marijuana is because it does keep me connected to the world around me. And it also helps me be a creative individual. Now, I don't necessarily need it. I'm not fiending. It's just an enjoyment factor in my life. The same way I like a Red Bull every here and there, you know? I'm gonna smoke a little weed every now and again. Do you ever make the first move on a guy? Love you. I say yeah, why not? Like, if you want to, fuck it, go for it. If you can see in his eyes that he wants to kiss you, he's just like maybe on edge because he's nervous and he's a little shy. That's okay. If you're not shy, go for it. Okay, I think you will both have a good time because someone finally ripped the band-aid off. Okay, send it. If you think a man's cute, fuck it, slide up on that story, say hey, who are you? Let's hang out sometime. You know what I mean? Life's too short. Put yourself out there. What do you have to lose? Oh, you're gonna get rejected. Oh, they're gonna say no. Cool, great. Thank you for communicating that to me. I'll move on. I'll take my attention and my energy elsewhere. Very simple. Rejection is redirection. It does not mean that you are unworthy or all these horrible, awful things that people usually think it means. It just means, you know what? The universe just put a stop sign in front of me and I got to follow that stop sign and I need to take a left now. I need to move. I need to redirect myself. If you keep trying to plow through a brick fucking wall, it's not going to work, obviously. So take the redirection when it does come. But I do think a lot of the times when women are a little bit more forward and they do make the first move, they do see great successes out of it. And I do highly encourage you to do so. Life is all about taking calculated risks. So calculate a little bit. And if you see a little, push and pull, you see a little interest there, okay, risk it. Fuck it. We only have one life. Who knows what greatness can come out of that one risk that you decided to take? Ooh, someone said, please give your opinion on boyfriends watching porn and having celebrity crushes. Here's the thing. I don't care because it's not a problem, at least in my relationship. And it's not a problem because I don't know about it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you shouldn't care if your boyfriend watches porn or not. You shouldn't try and control the situation because that's annoying. And a lot of these men out here do have severe porn addictions. And that is a problem because that is going to cause a lot of issues in relationships, especially if your boyfriend is running away to go watch porn in the bathroom and jerk off every 10 minutes. Like, babe, you're going through serotonin withdrawals. That's a problem. You have a sex and love addiction. We got to get that figured out. But also, you're probably like 21 and you're too young to be dealing with a man with those levels and depths of issues. Okay? So if you are having those problems in your relationship and you're like, holy shit, this man is picking porn over me constantly, run. Women are not rehabilitation centers for broken men. You need to understand when the problem is too big to be fixed and the man doesn't want to be fixed, and you got to take your attention and your time and your love elsewhere. Now, I don't know if my boyfriend watches porn. I'm going to go ahead and say he probably fucking does. And I do not care because I have never seen it, heard about it, thought about it basically, because it's never been a problem in my relationship. Celebrity crushes is the same way. Like, out of sight, out of mind. I don't want to know about it at all. Don't make it a problem that I have to know about. And porn addiction is very real, especially in the younger people nowadays who have had unrestricted internet access from a young age and started watching porn and got addicted to it because of the serotonin and the dopamine just kind of dumps that it gives you. It's gonna be addicting. Absolutely. I get that. We were kind of set up to fail in that sort of way. But also, if you bring up your problems in a relationship and you say, hey, you watching porn 20 times a day is making me a little uncomfortable. And if they can't hear you and want to make a change, sometimes you just got to say, hey, this is too big of a problem for me to deal with, and keep it pushing, keep it moving. Because I guarantee there are men out there without this kind of addiction. But yeah, in relationships, I don't care if you do it. Honestly, just don't make it a problem that I have to care about. Interesting. My boyfriend still doesn't brush his teeth. Carried from his old depression. He hates when I talk about it. Help. So I think we've all been there before, where it's like depth of the depression. Babe, I'm not brushing my teeth. I'm barely showering. My leg hair is 5 inches fucking long. I'm basically surgically molded to my bed. I have bed sores. I can't move. I can barely think. We've all been in that level of depression before. I think we can recognize it and understand it's probably the hardest level of depression to get out of, especially when you have no motivation for anything. Brushing your teeth feels like the biggest task in the world. Now, when it comes to kind of, maybe I'm out of the depression, but I'm kind of trying to figure out how to take care of myself, especially after not taking care of myself for so long. Nagging is not going to get you anywhere. When you were younger and your mom would be like, clean your room, clean your room, clean your room, go clean your room. You need to clean your room. The first couple times, sure, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to maybe clean my room. After you look me in the eyes and you say, clean your room 8 times, at that point, I'm going to have a negative reaction to it. And I'm not going to want to clean my room. In fact, I'm going to have the opposite reaction, and I'm going to want to make it dirtier. It's going to make me really not want to think about the problem because you're nagging me. You looking him in the eyes and going, you need to brush your teeth are gross, you smell, blah, 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 telling him these things, he already knows these things. That is not how you fix the problem. You fix the problem by showing him how. You can do this with friends as well. Showing them how, hey, you know what? It's nighttime. Let me bring your toothbrush to you. Okay, it's nighttime. It's morning time. I have to brush my teeth. Let me bring your toothbrush to you. I know it can feel a little bit too parenty, but when your friends or your boyfriend or your girlfriend is in need of help and you are able to administer help and, provide help to these people, doing so means so much. And through action is the best kind of teacher. Okay? Not through being like, brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your teeth. Don't remind him. He already knows. Show up, help him out. Okay? Bring the toothbrush to him. Oh, it's nighttime. Let me remind you physically. Oh, it's morning time. Let me remind you physically. Every time you do it, provide it for him. He doesn't have to do it, but at least it's an option there. And I guarantee through action and through providing this repetitive motion, he'll start catching on. He'll start doing it. He'll start feeling more confident. It'll become a part of his routine. And all of a sudden, the problem is not there anymore. But yes, when people are in these deep, dark depressions and they kind of lose themselves a little bit, it feels awkward to find yourself again and to kind of become a human being again because it doesn't feel right. So being there and being able to provide a little bit of inspiration and physical help along the way will go further than your words ever could. Someone said, how do you stay so positive? Babe, we got no choice. The demons are right behind us. In fact, they're running full speed at us. And if we do not keep up and keep it pushing and smile through the pain, then it's just going to overwhelm us and overcome us, and we are going to become the demon. Do you know what I mean? Like, being negative, oh my gosh, being negative, being hateful, that is such an easy emotion, okay? It is such an easy emotion to fall into because it's so over encompassing and it takes no work. It takes no work to be an evil, hateful, despiteful, angry person. No work at all. You just let the emotion overcome you. You know what does take work? Positivity. And unfortunately for me, who my brain is always trying to stab me in the back, it takes a lot of work constantly. And you're like, babe, that sounds draining. Sure. But also my life is so much more eventful and fun and enjoyable if I actively choose positivity. Okay? My life is so much easier in the long run if I actively choose positivity. Recently, I've been working around people who are a little bit more self-negative than I am used to, who talk down on themselves a little bit too much, who talk down on their situations a little bit too much, who joke around about themselves in a very negative way, kind of in the way that I used to do in the depths of my depression at like 15, 16, where everything was just a joke on me. Oh, I want to K-word myself, ha, ha, ha. The way you speak about yourself and the world around you has a direct effect on how you view the world around you. And if you are speaking negatively about yourself, of the people around you, if you are constantly looking out for negatives and speaking negatives, your life will also become negative. So yes, unfortunately, positivity is an active choice that you have to make in your day-to-day life. And sometimes you gotta look that devil in the fucking face and say, I ain't got time for all this. You gotta go. Thank you though. Have fun over there being miserable in the corner. I'm going to go this way and I'm going to choose peace and I'm going to choose positivity. You know, sometimes you got to look the devil in the face and say, babe, not today. Not today. That was me with my work. I was like, I think if I clock in again, things are not going to go well. It's going to be very hard for me to choose positivity. So fuck it. I won't make my $80 today or whatever it is on a brunch day. Like, let me just stay home and really recoup and rest and recover and choose positivity in that sort of way. So yeah, I stay so positive because I see the negativity and I choose the positivity. It's an active choice. And choosing positivity is never going to be the easy choice, ever. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and be like, how can you not be positive? Oh, you don't naturally feel this way? No, babe, I don't. Sorry. Sometimes you got to understand in the long run, making that hard choice is going to be better for you than making the easier choice. What does inconsistent attention mean? Inconsistent attention means they don't care, especially like romantic or even like really close friendship. I think you do need to allow ebb and flow for people to have space in their own personal lives. Sometimes your personal life is going to take over your experience a little bit and you're not going to be able to reach out or be the best friend or the best lover that you possibly can be. Very real. It's a part of life. It's going to happen. Inconsistency in that way is okay. Sometimes life gets overwhelming. No biggie. Focus on you. You get better. We'll reconnect when things are going good again. You know what I mean? But when it's inconsistent in a way of not caring, that's a problem. And if their inconsistency is constantly showing, I think you need to take some distance and really reevaluate maybe the pressure or the pedestal that you're placing this relationship on. You know, this is the attention they're giving you. What kind of attention are you giving back to them? Are you placing all your eggs in one basket where he's only placing one in yours? Okay, really evaluate. But if it's like honestly constant inconsistent attention and you are wanting constant attention, you got to just seek elsewhere. Okay, you're seeing what they can provide you, and is that what you're deserving of? No, probably not. Understand that, move forward. How to find confidence and self-love in everyday mundane things. Ooh, I feel like, you know what, a lot of my life and a lot of the way I schedule my life is all about self-love and confidence, especially through my daily routines and the things I indulge in. Okay, making sure I wake up at an early time so I have enough time in my day so I'm not panicking. That's a self-love move. Okay, making sure future me is taken care of, making sure I'm waking up and, you know, drinking enough water so my brain can function, maybe having a yummy coffee so I have a sweet treat in the morning. Self-love, confidence, making sure I'm eating well-balanced meals and staying fed. Okay, so I'm not having mental breakdowns. That's promoting self-love and confidence. Taking the extra 5 minutes to put on, and challenge myself to put on a fun, cute little outfit that I've never worn before. That's promoting self-love and confidence. Making sure I'm taking a moment to deep clean my house and reset my house so I have a comfortable, well-loved, well-enjoyed place to live. That's promoting self-love and confidence. Making sure that I am not taking on more than I can handle. Self-love and confidence. Making sure that the people I have in my life are deserving of my time and worthy of being around me, but also I am worthy of being around them. I am a good friend to them, a good lover to them as well. That's building self-love and confidence. It all comes through the little things, okay? The big things are not going to help. You don't need that boob job. You don't need to buy that house. You don't need to go on that 4-month vacation. The big things that people put on a pedestal rarely, if ever, sustain confidence and self-love. The sustained confidence and self-love comes from the everyday routine and enjoyments that you find in your life that constantly provide that self-love and confidence on a day-to-day level, okay? The big things, those will be a quick dopamine hit, but they will not last. The little things, that's what lasts. That's what truly makes a difference in your life. And the life that you live comes from the small things that you enjoy and that you prioritize throughout your daily life. There's this book that you might like. In fact, we did read it for a book club book on the Patreon. We do one every month. This month it's The Art of Seduction. Very much romance, love energy this July. Very much Leo season energy. But the book is called Atomic Habits. And it really just helps you prioritize and reevaluate the small things in your life and understand how big they can affect your life in a very positive way. It'll help you kind of replan and re-idealize what the perfect day-to-day life is. So Atomic Habits is a great read if you do need some inspiration. But yes, a lot of my self-love and confidence is sustained by the way I live my day-to-day life and the things that I prioritize in that moment. How to do emotional self-care. For me, emotional self-care really just comes from like purging. I feel like purging, a lot of the times people are like, ooh, negative connotation, which, I mean, yes, I get that. But sometimes for me, especially when my brain gets so many like thought loops and thought spirals and it fills up so quickly to the point where literally my head is like fucking throbbing. That was me all day yesterday. You gotta emotionally purge. You cannot hold on to all of those thoughts and feelings and just overwhelming, inconsistent ideologies or emotional understandings. You have to let that shit go, girl. You gotta let that go. Okay, Leo new moon, burn that shit, bitch. Get rid of it. For me, this looks like either doing like a brain dump verbally or written out. Sometimes I'll grab my journal and I'll just be like, I'm over this and this happened and blah, blah, blah. Get it off your fucking chest. Sometimes in the notes app, I'll just angrily type, get it out of my brain, my worries, my anxieties, even celebrations, anything that I do not have the mental capacity to hold on to anymore. You gotta get rid of it. Okay. And that comes through purging. Sometimes literally, I'm fucking psycho. I'll be in the shower and I feel like this is great, especially for like my Pisces rising energy who loves being in water and like rinsing and releasing that sort of way. But like, you know, when you have those moments when you're in the shower and you're like pretend arguing with somebody, it's like that kind of level of crazy. But I'll just be talking to myself and I'll just be like, getting it out of my system the same way I do on this podcast, but I'm just alone in the shower, purging and letting go of the emotions that are not necessary to hold on to. Anger, frustration, upsetness, worry, anxiety, anything that you do not have the emotional capacity to hold on to, you do not have to. Okay, I'm letting you know right now, you do not need to hold on to those things, especially if they are not pushing you into a healthy, positive direction. It's okay to release those things and let them out. The universe will handle them and deal with them, but you need to release them. You cannot hold on to them. You won't understand them. You won't fix them. You won't be able to really fully process them, because I feel like a lot of my negative emotions are simply just feelings. And sometimes feelings need to be felt and then moved forward. What to do when you're feeling evil and having a short temper with those you love? Listen, it's hot out. People are tired. Shit's expensive. It's Leo season, so everybody's a little bit more in their ego. Everybody's taking things a little bit too personally. You got to focus on you, but you gotta focus on you in a good way, okay? During this time, a lot of people are gonna wanna be victims. A lot of people are gonna wanna be me, poor me, sad me. If you get stuck in that place, you are not gonna be able to grow or change or develop at all. Sometimes it is, poor me, but also I have hope and I'm gonna keep it pushing and keep moving forward, because you can't sit in that victim mentality for too long. When it's hot out and people are getting a little more aggressive, maybe you're getting a little more aggressive, you gotta lean into the unbothered state. You gotta take on that unbothered mindset. You gotta be hot, but unbothered, okay? Not bothered. Especially during this time where everything's going to be testing you, especially people and emotions. I feel like my unbothered state comes from me understanding that I only have so much emotional capacity for so many things, okay? And I have to draw the line somewhere. I love saying yes and being a helpful person and doing the best that I can, but if I burn myself out, I am not going to be able to keep being that best, most helpful person in the long run, okay? I'm going to burn out and I'm going to become a mean and awful person. That comes with saying no to things and understanding your emotional limits. So if you have a customer come in and they are already just being a bitch and you don't have time to deal with that shit, understand, you know what? Maybe they're going through something crazy. Maybe they're just having a day. That is a problem that they need to deal with, though, and I'm not going to take that shit on. I'm going to minimally interact with this person. I'll get them their stuff. I'll serve them whatever, but also I will not let you drag me to the depths of hell with you. You know what I mean? I do not have the emotional capacity to take on this stranger's energy. I do not have the emotional capacity to lower myself to their level. And in fact, I will protect my peace by staying unbothered and not taking on that negative emotion that they're feeling. Whether it's a loved one, a friend, a random stranger on the street, you need to understand that your emotions are like a battery, okay? When your phone is at 20%, you got to turn on that low power mode. You got to turn on that boundary when it comes to your phone. Let's not refresh the apps. Let's not do that extra work, that extra power up. It's unnecessary. Your brain's kind of the same way. If you do not have the emotional capacity to take things on, you don't have to. And you need to understand, especially as a very sensitive person, what is worth it and what is not. The random stranger giving you shit, not worth it. I don't know you. Go on, be miserable somewhere else. I'm going to remove myself from the situation. Now, your friend who maybe needs a little bit more of a pick-me-up and is having a rough day and needs someone to hear them out, sure. You know what? I can offer you a little bit more emotional understanding and I can take on a little bit more. But that's because it's something that I want to utilize my emotions on, utilize, a little bit more of my battery percentage on. You got to weigh the pros and cons of what is worth taking on and compartmentalizing. And bitch, if it's not worth it, sometimes you just got to give a little shoulder shrug to the situation and keep it pushing. I was so anxious about calling out today until I realized, you know what? I just can't. And that's a boundary of mine. I just physically cannot. If I go in today, it is not going to be a good day for anybody involved, especially for myself. I also have multiple days of work coming up and hanging out with family that I actually would like to have a little bit more emotional capacity for and a little bit more energy for. So let me focus on uplifting that, letting the things that I don't want and can't take on not control me. So you know what? I'm going to call out, and I'm going to put my emotional capacity into the things that I actually care about and into the things that I actually want to prioritize in my life. It is what it is. Sometimes you need a mental health day. Sometimes you need to say, hey, this isn't worth my fucking time right now. I need to remove myself from the situation, and that is okay. Protecting your peace, protecting that unbotheredness by understanding what is worth your time and energy and what is not, is a great adult skill to learn, especially in this hot ass summer heat and this hot ass Leo season and this chaotic Mercury retrograde. Okay, moral of the story, is it worth your time and energy? Genuinely, is it? If it's not, surface level, okay? Have a little laugh at the situation, keep it pushing. But if it is, do the work you need to do. Understand spending that battery percentage on what is worth it is more important than anything else. With that being said, let's smoke and let's chill the fuck out a little bit. You know what I mean, girls? Let's hit this. Today is just a hot and silly day, you know. Honestly, it's been booked and busy outside. I've been watching the road as I've been recording this, but you know what? I am determined to let nobody, especially myself, stand in my way. That is the goal this Mercury retrograde. Keep a level head, roll with the punches, dare to dream and hope, and you know what? Fuck it. Set goals. If you feel like you are in a position in your life that you're just kind of over it, you deserve more, you want more, you desire more, everything that you want in this life, you create for yourself. And you create through various different avenues and aspects, okay? It's not going to happen overnight. What you desire is not going to happen overnight. But if you start enacting the small things today, you will get there eventually. I promise you. I promise you. And it's okay to feel like you are in a place that you've outgrown. It's okay to feel like you are in a place that, you know what? I don't want to be here anymore. At least you're recognizing the signs. At least you're realizing, you know what, you are deserving of more, because half the fucking people out there can't do that. Half the people are okay with being miserable, are okay with where they are okay being the victim of their own lives. You do not have to be a victim. You can get more out of this life. You do just have to work for it a little bit. But once again, most of it comes through the small things. It doesn't come from the big, giant leaps and changes. Most of it just comes from the way you talk to yourself, the way you treat yourself, the way you view the world. That really is the most important thing during this time. So when everything can feel so chaotic and big and heavy and a little scary, really realize it is about the little things and prioritizing the little things and having hope for the little things and really just trying to better your day-to-day life. That will make everything so much easier in the grand scheme of things. Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow, you know what? I'm going through a lot. I'm working hard. I don't really ever have a day off. I am overworking myself. But you know what? The only reason I'm sane doing this is because I do take the time out of those days to prioritize myself, to make sure I'm eating good, to make sure I'm taking care of myself, to make sure, you know what, I'm indulging in a little bit of creativity, feeding my brain that way here and there. Honestly, little changes in my life that will have a big effect, and taking them seriously, you know? No one's gonna come into your life and do shit for you. The longer you wait around for someone to come and save you, the more you'll realize time is slipping away. And you know what? Those days felt like nothing, didn't feel serious in your life, actually were serious. Okay? I love you all. We are all deserving of so many good things. We are all deserving of everything we've ever dreamed for. And guess what? We're going to make it happen. We're going to do everything that we ever possibly imagined or dreamed, especially from a young age. We're going to create that dream life that 8-year-old us had, create that dream experience that 12-year-old us had, because we owe it to them. We owe it to ourselves. And if no one's going to do it for us, then why the fuck won't we do it for ourselves? You know, like, I'll be my own sugar mama. I'll make it happen. I love that. feeling in that perspective, especially when like facing outside challenges. It makes outside challenges so much more easy because you're like, you know what, even if I don't have that, even if something's going wrong, even if my coffee order tastes bad, even if, you know, the little things get to us, at least I have myself and I have strength and understanding in that. I have power in knowing that I will stand strong by myself and make sure that I get through it no matter what. There's so much peace in that. And a lot of that simply comes from doing the little things and building a good relationship with yourself. Taking time to really focus on the little things proves to yourself that you're putting the work in, that you do care about yourself, and that simply put, you're being a good friend. You can have trust in this person because they are providing you a reason to have trust. It makes chaotic times like a retrograde so much easier. It makes chaotic times when you're overworking yourself or, you know, pushing those emotional boundaries so much easier. A good relationship with yourself is the superpower that you need. Okay? I don't want invisibility, bitch. I want to be my own best friend. Honestly, so much self-confidence and power comes from that. And through power comes accomplishments. Through power comes living your dream life. Not me rambling whenever I'm high. Sometimes I'm like, I'm on a ramble. Am I making sense? I think I am, because I was rambling last episode and you guys seem to really like it. I got a lot of good feedback. So thank you all. I hope you've been enjoying the most recent episodes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for going through this journey that is life together. We are learning so much through these episodes and just about each other, through each other. And I think that's so beautiful. A lot of the times when people are like, oh, what do you talk about on your podcast? I'm like, you know what? I really am just tapping into the collective and seeing what's going on. So hopefully we can kind of not go through these problems alone and learn more about ourselves through each other's eyes. You know, I think that's beautiful. And I'm glad that we've created a community here to be able to do that, because even on the hardest days or the most emotionally low days, this provides such a ray of light and just so much fun in my life. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for being you. We will get through it together. I love you. Retrograde doesn't have to be so scary, okay? Emotionally, it can feel heavy, but also the heaviness is what you allow yourself to take on. Purge, release those emotions. Don't let these crazy people get you down, okay? I love you. It'll be a good week. I'm excited. Hopefully my little family vacation goes good, and hopefully this first week treats you well. Remember, Lionsgate portal, August 8th. Set your intentions, create goals, manifest, emotionally purge if you need to, so you have the space to take on blessings, because you are deserving of it. Put in that little work and everything else will fall into place, I promise. But yeah, smoke a bowl for me. Stay strong in your goals and in your desires, and hopefully next week will be a good one to us as well. But I will chat soon. If you want your question answered, come join the Patreon. I will be doing another Patreon episode on Thursday. I will also probably be posting a little bit more about the Lionsgate portal, some more manifestation techniques. I'm kind of trying to hone in exactly on what I want to do. Monday manifestation, Sunday journal prompts, everything there. Patreon.com/smokecessshoddy. And follow the Instagram to see what I'm up to on my day-to-day life. Oh, and I'll be making my guacamole recipe this afternoon. Very excited about that. It's going to be a good day. I am going to munch on some guacamole, go pick up my weed order, and hopefully just have a relaxing and joyful night. What's better than that? You know, it really is about the basics. It's about the little things that make life easier. Me in the dispensary drive-thru, like, you know what? Life is good. With that being said, have an amazing rest of your week. Stay hot, but stay unbothered, okay? Understand what is worth your time and your energy and what is not. What kind of life do you want to live? What timeline do you want to be on? Make the decisions that get you there, okay? The universe is going to be watching you. She's going to be making sure you're taking the right steps. And if you're not, she will make it very clear that you are not on the right path. So make the best choices you can. Stay strong in yourself. Really focus on that self-love and that confidence through the small things this week. That's my challenge for you, my homework for you. But yeah, with that being said, I will see you all next week. Mwah.